Jarrett Allen, he got paid $100 million this offseason. He's quite the rich man as he signed a 5-year, $100 million extension with the Cavaliers. But is he worth it? In my eyes, he's worth every penny and more. The fact that Jarrett Allen is only costing $20 million a year is a steal, and I'm going to show you why. So first, I want to show you comparable salaries in the past season, 2020-2021. Now, Rudy Gobert is making more than double that as he signed a 5-year, $205 Supermax extension with the Utah Jazz. Now, he was eligible for that because he had made an All-NBA team. We look at Steven Adams with the Pelicans. He was making $29.5 million, a little bit of a tougher contract to move. And then Kristaps Porzingis, the once favorable Latvian laser, making $29.4 million. I think we can say for Steven Adams and Kristaps Porzingis that they are overpaid. So Jarrett Allen's $20 million looks like a steal compared to that. Now, with Jarrett Allen, you're also paying for the future because he's only 22 years old. You figure he's going to get better. He's only averaged 25.4 minutes per game for his career. Now, when he was traded to Cleveland, he averaged about 30.3 minutes per game. Starting out the year with the Nets, he was the backup to DeAndre Jordan for about the first 10 to 15 games. So Cleveland, he really got his first starting opportunity. You now want him in the pick and roll with Colin Sexton or Darius Garland. Now, I know that there are rumors that Colin Sexton may move, but whoever runs the point, you're going to want Jarrett Allen running that high screen and roll with them. And he also only fouled on 1.8% of the time that he was on the floor, which is the 99th percentile for big men. So Jarrett Allen knows how to alter shots and how to play defense without fouling, which makes him very valuable as a defender. Now, we go to how they acquired him, and he was the main piece of the Harden trade. Now, they didn't have to give up a lot, but they did need a third team to facilitate that, and that's where the Cavs came in. So they got Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince, who is no longer with the team. He's currently with the Timberwolves. And they sent Dante Exum, the former number 4 overall pick, a 2022 unprotected first, and let's be real, the Cavs might have a very low pick, and a 2022 second. So they gave up a couple picks and a backup point guard for Jarrett Allen. So they figured at some point he was going to be their future and they needed to pay him. Now, we go to Jarrett Allen's stats, and this is where I think that he can really, really shine. We look at his per 36 minutes, and he averaged 12.2 rebounds per game, which was 12th in the NBA, and 1.7 blocks per game, which was 10th in the NBA. Now, once again, this is for last season. We look at his season averages, so once again, playing with the Nets and the Cavaliers, and he averaged close to 13 points a game, 10 rebounds per game, and 1.4 blocks per game. Now, pre-concussion, because Jarrett Allen did receive a concussion towards the latter half of the season, he missed about 5 to 10 games, and he wasn't really the same player. They did say that it kind of impacted him a little bit more than other players that they've seen, but we look at the pre-concussion stats, 15 points per game, 11.2 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks. Now, once again, these are just the stats. I don't think you can figure in the impact that he has, which is why I'm going to show his measurables, because he stands at 6'11", and he has a 7'6" wingspan, which is 6 in the NBA. So not only does this help rebound the ball, not only does this help clog the passing lanes, it's going to help alter shots as well. And as a basketball junkie and somebody that's coming from 5'5", you can't teach height. So if you can get a big man that's agile like him, especially young and runs the floor well, that's going to be something that's very valuable, especially with small ball. You're going to need someone that can defend the post, especially if you're going to have 4 perimeter shooters. Now, Jarrett Allen isn't perfect. There's a reason why that there was some controversy of whether he should be a $100 million man or not. So the main areas that he needs to improve is his range. He took 60 shots further than 10 feet from the rim last year. So I think for him to really improve offensively and just not to just be a pick and roll guy or a defensive specialist, he's really going to need to have a mid-range jump shot, but also a 3-point game. with small ball that we see today, even your centers, Nikola Jokic, Thomas Bryant for the Wizards, that's the first one that came to example as a Wizards fan. We were showing Porzingis in the example. Most big men can stretch the floor and shoot in some capacity. Now, he was 6 from 19 last year. That's a little under 33%. That's not bad. But once again, I think for him to really establish himself as an offensive threat, he's going to need to become a better shooter, both mid-range and three-point, as well as free throws. Now, he's a 69% free throw shooter, so it's not like he's in that Ben Simmons territory. But figure if the Cavs are winning games or if they need to foul someone at the end of the game and you want to keep Jarrett Allen in as a rebounder and a defender, he's going to need to up that percentage up a little bit. Now, he shot 75% with the Nets this year. So if he can stay in that range, maybe even get to close to 80%, I think he's going to be a much better offensive player to complement the defensive presence he is. Now, look, Jarrett Allen, once again, he is not a perfect player. If he was a bona fide star in the making or had the superstar potential there where he was a no-brainer, he would have gotten signed to this deal much earlier and would have gotten a bigger contract. But I think Jarrett Allen has the potential to be one of the top big men in this league. And the fact that he's only going to make $20 million a year for the next 5 seasons, he will be 27 when this contract is over. And my hope and my thoughts are that he's going to be worth more in his next contract. So is Jarrett Allen worth $100 million? I think at the minimum he is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is he worth more? Is he worth less? Let me know what you think Jarrett Allen should be worth. Thanks everyone for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for my next video.